What is good, y'all? Welcome back to Chris and Ralph Productions. As always, I am Chris, and I hope you're having a wonderful Wednesday. So, this past weekend, massive news dropped for the MCU that Avengers 5 is going to be Avengers Doomsday. And of course, if you haven't heard the news or if you're living under a rock, that Robert Downey Jr. is going to be returning to portray Doctor Doom, and they said Victor Von Doom. So we shall see what they're going to do with that. But this is just a fun video that I wanted to do on what MCU characters do I genuinely think are going to appear in this movie and are going to be our core team. I gathered, I believe, around 20, a little less than 20 characters. If you've also seen the reports that Avengers Secret Wars, which comes out in 2027, that's going to have over 60 plus characters. I don't have 60 plus characters in this list because I believe Avengers Doomsday is going to be an Avengers movie, of course, but it's going to focus on a certain amount of characters. And I think these are characters, of course, from the beginning of the MCU, characters that we were introduced to in the last couple of years, and characters that I thoroughly enjoy seeing on the big screen and as well as Disney Plus. So the first set of characters I'm going to show you apparently are confirmed to be in Doomsday, and they make sense. The confirmation is being reported by major, movie pages on the social medias. So let's go ahead and get into the four set that are confirmed, and then everybody who I want to see. So of course, Robert Downey Jr. as Doctor Doom. That's pretty obvious. We have the Fantastic Four apparently are confirmed to show up in Avengers Doomsday. If you've seen my YouTube short, I made a quick video on how I think they'll introduce Robert Downey Jr. as Victor Von Doom. And essentially, I think he's going to be introduced in a post credit scene for Fantastic Four, which comes out July of next year. I mean, it makes sense, of course. Victor Von Doom is the arch nemesis of the Fantastic Four, and as well, he is a big baddie in the MC in Marvel. So it makes sense, of course, that they're going to be in it, and I want to see them in it. If you've seen that leaked footage online, oh my gosh, I cannot wait for this movie. Next, of course, Doctor Strange is apparently confirmed to be in this movie. I think that one's pretty obvious as well. Actually, there is an interview that Benedict Cumberbatch did a few months ago, probably even last month, if I'm not mistaken, and he slipped up a little bit. They asked him about his future in the MCU, and he said, like, "Oh yeah, I film Avengers 5. I film Avengers next year." So that basically obviously confirms that he's going to be in it. The Thunderbolts apparently are also confirmed to be in Avengers Doomsday. Thunderbolts comes out May of next year. So it would make sense to see some of these characters in the movie. I don't think we'll see every single character from the Thunderbolts. First, we got to see who lives, because who knows who's gonna make it out alive on in that movie for Thunderbolts. So we shall see. So from Thunderbolts, Doctor Strange, and the Fantastic Four, apparently these characters are the confirmed ones to be in the movie. Now from here on out are characters, a list of people who I want to see in this movie. So let's go ahead and get into it. Of course, my Captain America, Sam Wilson. His movie comes out, Brave New World, February next year. So honestly, not that far away. It's probably like 7 months from now when we get this movie. It just makes sense. You need Captain America. That teaser trailer, that trailer that we got a few weeks ago, I've seen it literally like 50 times. I think Sam Wilson, he's been one of my favorite MCU characters since he was introduced in Winter Soldier. So of course, it just makes sense to have Sam Wilson be an Avenger in this movie. Next, we have Spider-Man, of course. Spider-Man in the comics is an essential character in Secret Wars. Tom Holland, of course, they're doing Spider-Man 4 with him. It's already been confirmed by Amy Pascal over at Sony. I think Tom Holland himself, he's talked about Spider-Man 4. So of course it makes sense to have Spider-Man be in this movie. Um, and I know you're probably thinking, what about Toby and Andrew and all them? Well, I think that would be more so for Secret Wars because that involves more of the multiverse. Even though this movie is going to involve the multiverse as well, I think you save those guys for Secret Wars. Next, Charlie Cox as Daredevil. So this one, when I was making this list, I was like, who else do I want to see? And he was one of the last characters that I added because when I think of Daredevil, I think of exclusively street level action. But if you're gonna have Spider-Man, you can also have Daredevil, of course. Um, how they bring him into this story, I don't know. His show, Daredevil Born Again, comes out early next year, so in a few months as well. um, I think I would love to see Daredevil in Doomsday, and if he's not in it, then okay, then we'll see him in Secret Wars. 100% Secret Wars. He's definitely one of the 60 plus characters they're gonna have in that movie, but I would love to see him in Doomsday as well. Next, Captain Marvel. Of course, the first Captain Marvel movie made over $1 billion, and then the second, The Marvels, it did not do so well in the box office. But I absolutely love this character. I love how powerful she is. I love that scene in Avengers Endgame when her and Thanos are going toe to toe and stuff. And he uses, I believe, the Power Stone to get the best of her. I think she's a fantastic character. So if you were to bring her back, I very much would want to see her be in this movie. Um, Today, actually, they asked Brie Larson of her future for in the MCU. I think it was Brie Larson. Yeah, Brie Larson. Yeah. Um, she's like, yeah, I there's some stuff, but I can't really talk about it. So, you know, that's her not saying no, I'm not coming back. Of course, they're gonna bring her back because she's an essential character. Next, we have Clint Barton and Kate Bishop. First off, Jeremy Renner. After this news poster about Avengers Doomsday, he reposted it on his Instagram story. Of course, there's only so much weight to that. Who knows exactly what that means? But Jeremy Renner, they're not going to pass up the opportunity to bring him back. Of course, it was it last year, or the year before he where he had his accident, almost lost his life. He fought through that. What better way to have him come back as Hawkeye than to pop up in Avengers Doomsday? And essentially, if you've seen the Hawkeye show, which is my favorite MCU show, wherever Hawkeye goes, Kate Bishop goes. So I'd love to see Kate Bishop pop back up to help him out, and they'll be partners in this journey. So I would love to see these two come back 100%. Black Panther Shuri. Um, of course, if you've seen Wakanda Forever, she takes on the mantle of Black Panther for her brother T'Challa. Rest in peace, Chadwick Boseman. And ever since Chadwick's passing, of course, you I shed a tear when he passed. I was so sad. And then over the last couple of years, I was like, man, I wish he was here. Just so obviously he can live out his life, and then so us as the fans can see him continue to portray Black Panther. Of course, unfortunately, that's not going to happen. So they went with Shuri. Of course, in the comics, Shuri takes on the mantle of Black Panther as well. In Wakanda Forever, I was rooting for Okoye to take on the mantle, but of course, it makes sense for Shuri to become Black Panther. So, with that being said, I actually really dug her action scenes at the towards the end of the movie. Whenever she finally became Black Panther, her and Namor, I thought their fight scenes were pretty badass. And I think she would be a legit core member for Avengers Doomsday. And speaking of Namor himself, um, he of course is part of the Illuminati, so he has been a part of bigger stories, bigger than himself. The actor Tonakwete, he was at the premiere for Echo earlier this year, so I think he's slowly getting back into it. If I'm not mistaken, he's apparently in What If season 3. I think from what I've read that he has an episode or he's going to be in one of the episodes. So they're going to slowly start bringing him back onto the screen because it's been a few years. Same thing for Black Panther Shuri. A lot of these characters we haven't seen in that many projects. So, um, whatever helps get them back on screen, whether it's on Disney Plus, on the big screen, whatever, definitely. And Namor, he was my favorite character in Wakanda Forever. So I would love to see him come back as well. How they bring him back, I think since he has so much respect for Shiri, I think wherever she goes, he goes. Kind of similar to um, Clint Barton and Kate Bishop. Wherever he goes, she goes. Wherever Shiri goes, he goes. So I think that's what's going to end up happening in the movie, but we shall see, of course. Next, we have Bruce Banner Hulk, baby. Um, Bruce Banner, he's gone through a array of changes over the last few years, some positive, some negative. I, for one, enjoy his portrayal in She Hulk. Obviously, I would love to see him rage out more and smash more. But I dig Mark Ruffalo being able to be Hulk and himself at the same time. I think it further develops the character. I just wish Marvel and the MCU were able to do something with Hulk because of course there was rights issues back in 2008. I don't know if that's still the case now. There was murmurs that they wanted to do a World War Hulk. I don't know what truth to that, what if there was any truth to that. But Hulk, he is on the Mount Rushmore of Marvel characters. So we got to start doing justice by him and have him show up in a lot of these projects and just be badass. Um, so I hope, obviously, I think he's going to be in Doomsday, of course. I just hope that they're able to figure something out with him beyond Doomsday. Speaking of Hulk, She Hulk. All right, I know what you're saying. A lot of people did not like She Hulk, this TV show. I really, really liked that show. I've rewatched it a few times. There are some episodes where I'm like, okay, I don't really need to watch this one. I'll skip over this one. But I dug it. I really liked it. Say what you want. I really don't care, guys. I really don't. Well, I forget what that meme is. Um, I like She-Hulk as a character. I love her as a character. Actually, I have her figure back there behind me. So, um, very similar. Where Clint Barton goes, Kate Bishop goes. Where Shiri goes, Namor goes. Where Hulk goes, I think She-Hulk will go with him. A lot of these characters are in pairs, so what better way to introduce her on the big screen than in an Avengers movie? She can be right there with Daredevil. She could be right there with her cousin Bruce. Um, I think she would be badass on the big screen. So, yeah, we'll see. We will see. Next, we have Shang-Chi. Shang-Chi is, I think, my second favorite movie post Endgame in the multiverse saga. First is Guardians 3. I have no Guardians characters on here because I really don't know what they're gonna do with them, but that's another video. Shang-Chi, I saw it I think like three times in theaters. It was the second movie to come out after the first movie to come out after Black Widow. Um Shang-Chi is just such a badass character. I believe in Quantum Mania, the Ten Rings played a part in that one. Of course, they're no longer doing the Kang storyline, but they were slowly adding his sort of storyline into the bigger MCU story. Um, I think if I can just see Shang-Chi on the big screen again, I would love that. I think he is a badass character. And what better way than to have him be in Doomsday and have him be a core member? I think his specialty of the Ten Rings is of the power that he has is such a badass power. Why not have him in Doomsday? And the next character is the last one, but I saved him for last because he is the best for last, and that is Hulk. Thor. Oh my gosh. Hulk and Thor, they're best buds. Oh my god. Excuse me. Thor, of course. Chris Hemsworth, Thor, um, also known as Optimus Prime. I think with Love and Thunder, I had a blast watching it. Over the last year plus, seeing Chris Hemsworth sort of make comments on how it's not his favorite portrayal of the character, how he regrets how they didn't take the character more serious and things like that. I kind of felt bad for him. But I think that if they're able to bring back Thor, I think Chris Hemsworth is coming back 100%. I think they'll do a Thor 5. I think they'll do a Thor 5. Why not? Love and Thunder made a decent amount of money for the amount of criticism that it received. So if you're gonna bring back Thor, why not bring it back for Doomsday? It just makes sense. Of course, have him be a core member. If I had to pick out core members, so if I can pick six characters, who would be the OG six? It would be Thor, Hulk, of course, Shiri, Clint. That's already four. Captain America, mm, and Doctor Strange. I think that's six, right? If I had to add a few more to the core team, I say of course Reed Richards, or all the Fantastic Four. But I guess I would say if I had to pick one, Reed Richards, um, and Captain Marvel. I think those characters could definitely lead the charge, and then the Thunderbolts, the rest of the Fantastic Four, Namor, Daredevil, She-Hulk, and them. I think they could definitely sort of be the supporting characters. And who knows? Maybe half of the people that I named are going to be in this movie. Maybe probably a lot of characters that I haven't named are going to be in this film as Avengers. So this is just a fun video that I wanted to do because my anticipation for this movie skyrocketed since the announcement. I'm happy that RDJ is coming back. I want to see how they portray this character. And I just want to see the next handful of movies. Of course, we have Brave New World, Thunderbolts, um, Fantastic Four, and then we have Avengers Doomsday. So that's only three movies to lead up to this movie, to this Avengers film. So very curious to see what they're able to build up to, what they're able to actually do. Um, and yeah, so comment down below, who do you want to see? Who would be your next six core Avengers characters? I would love to read y'all's list. So guys, if you're still watching, I appreciate your support. Please like, share, and subscribe. As always, ooh, that was my phone. As always, guys, I'm Chris. I'll catch y'all next time. Peace.